So today we are going to scrap our animations. As you've seen by the thumbnail, we have not figured it out for the animation that I think it's it's to pop up our cube onto our platform as well as like suck it into our end platform. So I've decided to scrap that just for now until we can get it working later on, but I don't really want to focus on making the animations because we're wasting time and clearly it's not working. I mean, the animation is working, but it's also destroying the movement of our cube, which is not what we want. So we're going to scrap that, and then later on, once we've got the game working properly and everything is working, we will revisit the animations. So the animations was more to try and make the game look like fun, not just be a boring cube that you rotate onto the next platform. So it's gonna add some cool effects to it, but we'll get onto that later on because we also want to add effects to some of the tiles that we have to rotate onto, because we're gonna make tiles that like teleporting tiles, which we'll probably do in today's episode. But we're just gonna make the tiles as prefabs, and we're not gonna make them like finished product tile things, if that makes sense. So we're just going to make things that look quite bad but work well, and then later on we'll make the things that work well as well look good, so they match. So today, let's get into it. So first things first, let's just check and see what our animation is doing. So this is what our animation is supposed to do, which it works. It brings up our cube, but you can see it's no longer in the correct location. And if we go and turn that off, you can see that our cube is now in the correct location, and we can still play the game. But when our animation is on, our cube doesn't move correctly. So we're going to scrap all of it. So to do that, we're just going to move our cube out of our cube parent game object, just get rid of that completely. And then that's it, that's our animation scrapped. So now we should be able to play the game, which is fine. We can go, and yesterday we worked on our end point and start point triggers on the platform, so we know when we have to end the game and start a new level. So we've done that. We're not going to delete the animations out of the game folder because they do work. We'll come back to them later on. But today, let's go and create another platform. So let's go to our prefabs. So we have all of these different prefabs here. And they're all, well, these two here are normal platforms. They don't do anything. So we're going to copy one of them. Actually, let's open this. Actually, you know what? Let's go back. Let's drag one of these in. So where's our cube? Here's our cube. So we can drag one of these in, and then I'm going to rename this to, what are we going to name this to? We'll name this to blue platform. I don't know. It's blue platform. Okay, so this, like the title suggests, is going to be a blue platform. So let's go create another material. And this, just need to change that to blue, kind of like a darkish blue. And then drag that to there, and then let's just rename that so that it doesn't say red one. So we're gonna make this platform. What are we gonna do? We're gonna make this platform be a teleporting platform. So there's gonna have to be two of them in the scene, and whichever one, I don't know if we'll make it like if they work on both of them, but whichever one you stand on, or you move the cube onto first, it will automatically teleport you to the next one. So I think we will make it so that if you get onto the one that you teleported to, if you stand on that one, well, not stand, but if you rotate the cube onto that one, it will teleport you back to the original one, just to make the game a little bit harder. Well, not harder, but more annoying, because if you teleport back to the beginning, then you have to make your way all the way back, or just go back onto the platform. So on this blue platform, we need to add, we already have a box collider, so we need to add another collider, and that's going to be our sphere collider, because we need to detect when we're on this collider. So we'll add one of those on, and then we need to resize it so that it fits properly, if we can get to it. So let's edit it, and then we need to scale this up about there, and then scale it down on this side. So it doesn't have to be that big, so we'll do it like that. So just a little bit of it is sticking out, and then we can go make it as a trigger so that we can go through it, but yet still detect some movement. So let's see, where's our prefabs? So I'm just going to drag this into here and create an original prefab. So that's going to create a prefab for us. So let's create another script, and on this script we will attach. Actually, could we use the, I think we can go back and use the script we made yesterday, which was our platform detector script. So on our blue platform, if we double click that and open it up, we can go and add our platform detector script, and then let's just open this up and see. We can format the on trigger enter, I think it is, the method that we made yesterday to detect which platform we're on. So here it is here. If we bring that here, you can see that in this method here, we first of all we check if the platform, if the object that's colliding with the platform is a cube. Then we can go and check, do another check here and say if the game object dot compare tag is our, let's go to our global class so we can get that tag. So do we have a tag? No, we don't, because we just made it. So we'll copy and paste it and make another tag. So this one is going to be our, let's just make, it's going to be a teleporting tag. So let's go and say teleport tag. And then we have to attach this to our actual prefab. So this in here, we need to create another tag. It's not going to just be platform. Instead, it will, no, what am I doing? It's going to be an add tag and create a new one and teleport. We could probably should say teleporter or something like that, but we'll just say teleport for now because that matches this, so that's fine. And then where were we? In our platform detector, we can go and say global dot teleport tag. Okay, so now that should detect if we are on a teleporting platform. So let's just go and say print cube is teleporting. Now let's go and test that out. But first we have to add it to our scene, because if we don't have one in our scene, it's not going to work. So where is our level? First of all, we can go and get rid of that, delete that out of the scene, and then on our levels, which is in our prefab levels folder, here we can just drag this in here, and that way we will copy the position. So 1 0 and 0. So this is going to be 1 0 and 0, and then let's just go and delete this one because we don't need that one. Cool. So if we go, let's go play this and see what it does. We should now get 3 console logs. So when we stand on, okay, so that clearly doesn't work. But when you go onto here, it does say cube is teleporting. Oh yeah, it doesn't work because we got rid of the print statement that we had to detect when we were on those platforms. So we can, instead of just saying that, we can go and say, actually, no, that's not going to work because this here is only going to be run when we are on our teleporting platform. So that's fine. So you can see it's working, but now we need to make another one. So let's go and duplicate it. So we will copy it wherever it is. Blue platform. So copy that and paste it, and then we want to replace it with this one. So that's going to be -1 and 2. So let's go and delete that. And this one will be -1, and I think the Z was 2. Yeah. Okay, so now when we move our cube onto this platform, we will need to teleport the cube to this other blue platform. So what's the best way to do that? We need to write a script that handles this, and then how are we going to do this? Simply, we just need to change the position of the cube, but it might not work because as soon as you move on to this other one here, when you teleport to that one, it's going to trigger the function again, so it's going to teleport you back and forth. So we need to handle that. And also we need to have some sort of link between them. So we could just write a script in, actually, let's see, level 1. What's the best way to do this? Let's see. I know, let's do this. Create an empty object, and this will be our teleport manager. And then on the script we can, or on this, what did I just do? So on here, let's drag these two as a child object of that, and then on this teleport manager, clearly I can't spell it, we can go and add another script onto it, which will handle actually no, that's not going to work, because we have the collision detection happening on each platform. So if we add it onto a manager as a parent object, and then actually, yeah, that will work. Okay, so let's go and create another script on here, and then we can call it teleport manager. Create that script, add it onto there. So now we should be able to edit it, which is, we can, here it is. So now, because we need reference to those positions, we can go and just say serialized field, and this will be a game object, not manager. This is going to be platform A, and then we can just copy and paste that. That is obviously going to be platform B, so that will provide the link between them. So they should come up in here. Did we save it? No, we didn't. So now we should be able to drag them into there, and that will give us the link between the two of them. So platform A will be bottom, and then the platform B. Actually, let's just go rename them so that they make sense. Blue platform B, and then blue platform A, because this one is the one you stand or move the cube on first. So what do I do? You can move that one up there, and then platform A and platform B. So now you should be able to move your cube onto this platform, and then it'll automatically teleport you onto the linked one, which is this one over there. Okay, so now let's go and make that happen. So we don't need our start method or our update method, I don't think. All we need is a public void teleport. Does teleport have 2 L's? Don't really know. It looks weird. So in here, we need to go and tell it to, whenever you collide with it, let's go and move the cube to the other platform. So let's go do that. So this teleport method here will be called from the platform detector script. So instead of printing this out, we will go and call this teleport method. So here we can go and say we will need our cube. So we can go and say private game object cube, and then we're going to have to bring back our start because we're going to need access to our cube so that we can move it. So in our start method, let's go and say cube is equal to game object dot find. We'll use find for now because we don't really I mean, we'll figure it out later. So let's go and say global dot cube tag. So that should find our cube. Okay. So I'm just gonna play this quickly. First of all, let's just make this serialize. So then hopefully when it updates in our inspector, we should be able to see it. So if we play the game, we should be able to see this fill up, which it doesn't. Oh, maybe it does, because that was a prefab. So teleport manager. Okay, there we go. So we are getting our cube, so that's fine. You can see there it is. So that's working nicely. Now we can go and say the cube dot position dot transform dot position is going to be equal to platform B dot transform dot position. Now I feel like that is not, it's going to work, but it's not going to work the way we want it to. So let's go and test it out. So first of all, what we have to do is we need to call that method from our platform detector. So on this here, we need a way to access that method. So what's the best way to do that? Do we have these platforms in every scene. So we need a way to figure out how to access them. So let's see, if we play the game on our levels, where is it? Our teleport manager. No, what is it? It is our the teleport, no, what is it? The platform detector script is attached to both of our platforms, but we need a way to access our teleport manager. But if we get a reference to like a serialized field in our inspector, we're gonna have to drag it in. Actually, you know what? We'll just do it for now. It's not the best way to do it, because if we don't have the teleporting platforms in our scene, the reference is going to be empty. But for now, we'll just do it just to get it done and see if it actually works. So this is going to be serialized field. What is it going to be? It's going to be we'll make it a game object, and then it is going to be called our platform. No, it's not. It's going to be called our teleport. Actually, it is going to be called teleport manager, and we'll say teleport manager. We'll see if that works. Okay, so instead of printing this out, we can now go and say teleport manager dot teleport. So that should be it. That should allow us to only teleport in one direction. So this is not going to work because we can't drag it in, because it's what you call it. It only appears when the game starts, so that's not going to work. What we could do is we can just go and let's just do this. Bring back our start method. And in here, we can just go and say teleport manager is going to be equal to, do we have a tag on it? We don't, but we'll add a tag. So let's go and let's do this out of gameplay mode so that it can actually save itself. So on our prefab, let's open up our first level, our teleport manager, and this is going to be what am I doing? A tag. So let's go and do this. We'll copy that, and then let's go make another tag, and then save that. Then we can add that onto there. And now, just for testing purposes, we'll change this later on, but let's see if this works. So let's go and say game object dot find object with tag, and then it's going to be global dot teleport manager tag. Okay, so we need to go and create that, and then everything should be fine. So we will copy paste that. So copy that and put that in there, and then I think that's all we need. Okay, so that should be fine. Let's go and see if that actually works. So we should be able to just play the game now and hope for the best. Okay, so we think we forgot to... What have we done? Teleport, pattern detect. Okay, so dot get component teleport manager. That should solve our issue. Okay, so let's save that, and then now let's try and play it. So this should work. We should be able to teleport from our first platform here to this one simply by standing on it, which it does. So you can see that the cube teleports, but the Y position is not correct. So we need to go and fix that. So let's go to that method. So instead of just assigning the position of our platform, we can go and say new vector, if I can type, vector 3, and then we want the position of the x as well as the position of the z, so that's going to be .z, but we want the position, that's going to be a platform, but we also want the position of the cube's y value. So here we can go and say cube dot transform dot position dot y. So that should solve the issue. That should keep the cube at the correct height, so it looks like it's sitting on top of our platform correctly. So if we teleport onto there, okay, that's not working quite as well as I expected it to. Let's just see if our cube is sitting correctly on our other platforms. So that's fine, but it's not working on this one. That's a bit strange. So let's see where it is. Our cube is at minus 0.7, whereas it should start at minus 6, I think. Yeah, it does. That's a bit weird. Gonna have to try and figure out why. But for now, because I think, let's see in our global class, do we? No, we don't. But for now, just because we know it's going to be 0.6, let's just go and assign it using a value. And then that should fix our problem as a temporary solution, but we'll figure out why that's happening. I think it must have something to do with the rotation. Okay, so that's clearly not working. All right then. Anyway, I think that is a problem for another episode. So we'll figure that out in one of the next episodes. But in the, well, not the next episode of this series, but in the next episode I'm probably going to release is going to be the maze. So I think we got our animations working in that game, which is a lot easier because we don't have the cube rotating onto the next phase. I think it's just sliding across the maze. So we can carry on working with that, and then yeah, we'll see what game we'll start next. We will probably start a new game, a very small game that we can finish within a week, just like we did with the dinosaur game. Just take a break from these bigger games. But that's pretty much it for today's episode. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So goodbye.